I come here asking the court to compel discovery. I'm seeking an order directing that we receive this discovery. I'm not seeking any other kind of sanction. I don't come here saying that the prosecutor has done something wrong. I come here saying that there are things that we have a disagreement about whether I should get them or when I should get them, and we seek a court order to assist us in this regard.
I'm probably tripping, but if you watch this hearing, you know that in his opening statement, the judge told them specifically to focus on the court proceedings and not the defendant.
The purpose of discovery is really to prevent an unfair trial, to prevent trial by surprise, and also to protect a charged person's rights to meet their defense. It protects their Sixth Amendment rights to have a sufficient and a prepared counsel, I should say, as we have a duty to investigate the case. So in preparing our case for Mr. Kohberger, we've asked for several things that we still need.
And listen, until what's going on, man? I got like a million things going through my head right now, so the main thing is to just slow down. I hope y'all are okay out there. I'm guessing it's summertime, man. It's hot in Miami, man. Man, shout out to all the viewers, man. Shout out to you guys who like the videos, man. I was thinking, you know, I don't even ask you guys to like the videos like that, but when my videos drop, you know what I mean, they get likes and stuff. So, I mean, that's just real love, man. That's the kind of organic stuff I'm talking about that I appreciate more in life. Finally watched, you know, the hearing that they had yesterday when Ann Taylor had some motions to compel. She had 3 of them. Go check out, you know, 12 Years of Horror. I keep telling y'all that. Shout out to you guys who checked it out. And prayers, man. Prayers for those families, you know, about the 12-year-old girl who stabbed her brother to death. I'm not going to get too deep into it, man. Go check that video out. It's up on the channel. Shout out to everybody who checked out the last video. I was going to tell you guys the name of it, but hell, I can't remember. Let me see. I got it right here. Come on, bro. The evidence doesn't match the accused, bro. The evidence doesn't match the... You got to do better. I'm not going to do all that, man. You just did, buddy. It's up there. Go check it out, man. I took notes, though. That's what made me mention 12 Years of Horror this time, because that was the first video where I took notes. I took notes on this case again. I'm going to let you hear the paper in the background if you can. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm probably not going to even refer to them. I'm going to refer to them, you know, as I remember them, but I'm just not that type of person, man. I'm more of a fluid person, man. And that gets me in a lot of trouble. I ramble, you know what I mean? I go off the deep end sometimes, but that's just who I am, man. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, man, but this case has me, you know, watching that hearing, taking notes on it. You know, I went back and read some of the comments that you guys left, man. It really, really has me down and in my feelings, man. I think it may have been in Michigan, don't quote me on this. A mother, you know, stabbed her 4-year-old son and her 2-year-old daughter. And, you know, her 15-year-old daughter called the police on them. And the officers came and she was trying to drown the 2-year-old that she had already stabbed. Praise God, the officers, I think, did a wonderful job. You know, they came in. You can see the camera video, the video cam, the body cam. They didn't shoot her. They didn't shoot anybody. We've heard so many of those stories where they do. You know, 3 officers right now have been charged for murder for walking in the house and shooting a woman, you know, who had a hammer. You can see that body cam video too. As soon as they walk in the house, I don't know how close she was standing to them, but 3 of them, she had a hammer and they just opened fire on her and killed her. So they charged them with murder, and I'm glad they did. But, you know, we hear so many of those stories. I'm grateful to be able to say that the officers in this case, they did their job perfectly, man. They went in the house. They were able to save the baby. You could hear them, you know, calming the situation down, de-escalate. She was literally trying to stab the baby when they came in. You could hear them de-escalating the situation, getting the baby out of the water, securing her, I guess. And then you could hear them trying to, you know, save the baby. And praise God, there were no tragedies, ultimate tragedies, you know, fatalities in that situation, man. But that, you know, stuff like that, it has my spirit down, bro. I'm really, you know, a person who cares about humans, man. I'm really a person who cares about humans. Segue, you could turn the camera off in this video. I'm probably not going to have like some background and stuff. YouTube told me you reusing images and stuff. I don't even know what that means. I don't know if it's because I was about to make this channel something else in the beginning and I had videos, you know, up from that, or because I used the news clips in the background of my videos. But we're going to try something different with this one. But, man, I just care about people, man. And I'm watching this hearing, man, and I like Judge John, man. Is that how I say his name? Judge John Judge. I really like this guy, man. And I don't know, if this, I've never been involved this early on in a criminal case. So I don't know if this is standard, if this is par for the course for the judge to constantly, be reprimanding the media. I've seen it a few times in the trials that I've watched, but it was already during the trial. It wasn't like pre-trial or anything like that. So this may be par for the course, but for me, I like the fact that he begins his hearings, and maybe it's par for the course, and that's why nobody's talking about it, but he begins his hearings, reprimanding the media. It's not the jury, it's not the attorneys or the prosecutors or the defense side, it's the media. He's like, y'all always doing some BS, and this time I'm about to correct this BS that I thought was pretty clear, but it's not, and this time it was concerning, whether the officers were under the gag order or not. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. He said, I'm going to correct it, I'm going to do a new revised order, and we're going to get it right this time. Put some specifics in there. It's going to be very redundant, but I'm going to put some specifics in there, so hopefully you guys can get it this time. And it's not that the media don't understand. What he said next versus what happened is going to tell you it's not that the media don't understand, and this is why you're going to see my downcast spirit and energy go from passion and pissed offness. I just made that word up as this video goes on. Because he said, I'm gonna treat you with kid gloves so there could be no misunderstandings about this. And if I forget to say it in this video, man, shout out Ann Taylor. Don't know her. I hate saying I like people because as soon as I say that, every time they do some BS. And it's like, that's why I don't mess with y'all. But I like this woman. I'm gonna get to that. But next, he told the media, man, the Lori Vallow trial, we had some issues because we allowed you guys in here. And instead of focusing on what was going on in the courtroom, you kept zooming in on things that painted a particular narrative, specifically the defense table, specifically Mrs. Vallow. I didn't watch that trial. I'm just telling you what Judge John said, man. The man was very articulate. He was very clear. He wasn't upset. He was just being straightforward, much like Miss Ann Taylor. And so he said, we're not going to do that. This is why what he said is why I made the video you guys didn't get. There's no way in hell that cameras need to be in the courtroom during Bryan's trial. There's no way in hell he's not going to get a fair trial, guys, if they are. And I know how much we all want to see it. I know how much we think our watching eyes can, assure that he gets a damn fair trial. Listen, we're watching right now and they're perverting justice, guys. And if that doesn't tell you anything, I'm going to tell you how a judge gave direct orders in this damn hearing, and his orders didn't stop them from trying to pervert justice. What in the hell makes you think our watching eyes are going to stop justice from being perverted? That's when I start stumbling, because I get so pissed off. It's just like logical stuff don't make no sense, and people be subscribing to it, and I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying, think outside of your damn self. If you want justice in this case, like justice, not your opinion, not your narrative, justice, you have to lean toward justice-leaning things. Watch this. He said, if we have cameras in here now, focus on what's going on in the courtroom. My man told me on Twitter, he said, yo, man, when you watch that trial, watch where the cameras go. Judge John said, we have cameras in here now. We had this problem at the Lori Vallow trial. Focus on what's going on in the courtroom before we say it's not going to be any cameras, man. I mean, damn it, I don't even think it was 60 seconds later. You could hear Ann Taylor talking, and the camera was nowhere but on Bryan. They're trying to get clips of this man so they can put it out there. They can spin that damn stories and narrative to say the way his nose is shaped is guilty. The way he rubbed his lips is guilty. The way he ran his hand through his hair means he's guilty. The way he's just sitting there stoically not saying anything. Like, damn it, I feel like that around women. Y'all don't want me to get in that damn bag. I'm going to tell y'all what my other platform is. You follow me on Twitter, you know I got a whole nother private page called My Other Thoughts. It's a bunch of stuff I want to say that y'all don't want to hear, and a lot of people need to hear it. Not because I'm right, but because they're the little elephants in the room that are misdirecting us all and causing us all a lot of problems. You need to stop training your damn ears to only hear what the hell you want to hear. Sometimes you need to hear stuff you don't want to hear. All of the damn time. He told them very specifically, I'm already 8 minutes in, I got to get to it. Focus on what's going on in the courtroom. I don't think it was 60 seconds later. And it happened all throughout this 29-minute hearing. The hearing wasn't, all the way 29 minutes. Court TV, they stopped a little bit. They did that little commentary. That's why I watched it at. But damn it, all throughout the hearing, man, the camera, you could hear the people in the courtroom talking. The camera was on nobody but Bryan. Why do you think he opened up the hearing first, admonishing the media about BS that they should understand, but he gonna put it in kid writing for you with crayons, and then saying, oh, yo, man, the camera, we already had this problem with the last high-profile trial. If y'all want to keep these damn cameras in here, then listen, man, Focus on the courtroom, not the defendant. He literally said those words. I'm not paraphrasing here at all. They didn't do it. Ask yourself why he said that. Ask yourself why they didn't do it. Ann Taylor had 3 points. I got my notes right here. Listen, probably not going to look at them. Y'all correct me when I'm wrong. One, we need to know what's up with these officers, man. These 3, and I'm telling you right now, court, respectfully. I like this woman, man. I'm telling you right now, court, respectfully. I ain't saying I want all of the officers, because while the prosecution is going to say there was several hundred officers investigating this case, she literally said, I'm aware that there was 150. I like people who are articulate, because I'm like that, but it gets us in a lot of trouble because people want to speak in parables and then get mad when you're direct and you say exactly what's going on. Prosecution, she gonna ask for everything. It was a couple of hundred investigators on this case. Ann Taylor gets up right behind them at the end of the hearing. I'm aware that it was 150, but let's get back to the beginning. She said, listen, I'm not going to tell you I want all of them. I'm not going to tell you these 3 are the only ones I'm going to want, but right now we want these 3. Prosecution says, well, what they got to do with the case, man? They just talked to a couple of people. Ann Taylor said, you lost your damn mind. They interviewed some key witnesses, whether they're called as to trial or not. They interviewed some key witnesses. They gathered evidence. They helped get the PCA. They helped make the arrest. They helped get the indictment. What the hell do you mean they're irrelevant to the trial? There's nobody in their right mind thinks anybody involved in that investigation that helped gather evidence to get that PCA, to get that damn arrest, to get that indictment, thinks that anybody involved in that is all of you Negroes is listen, I'm looking at firing squad. I'm looking at men standing in front of me with guns, pointing them at me, not knowing which one pulled the trigger till I'm dead. What the hell? Everybody, I need everybody. This is where the humanity of the case comes in at. I'm sorry, man. I'm 10 minutes in. If you're new here, welcome to Innocent Until. I'm not illegal. Me and Coffee out the door, Jennifer Coffee out the door. We on the same page, man. We don't know nothing about the legal process. We don't know nothing about the justice system. We just watching. And her, she need to be somewhere watching cartoons and giving commentary on that. That's the only damn thing she's safe to do. And I would question that. Me, I just look at things from a logical standpoint. I look at things from a humanitarian standpoint, and I just give my commentary on that. I'm not saying I'm ignorant about the legal processes. I'm just saying right now, I don't even think any of us know as much as we try to pretend we know about what's going on legally. So some of us know more than others, but I think a lot of us, we try to act like we know more than we actually do. And then we run around like that. I'm letting you know. I'm just looking at legal, practical, verbal, otherwise, and I'm coming to logical conclusions. There's no way in hell that we don't need to know who these 3 officers are and what their qualifications are to be doing these interviews, giving reports on the interviews, and including their information into this whole process. We need to know that. That's very fair to me. I don't know what the legal precedent is for that, because Ann, and the lady from the prosecution, show y'all I took notes, so y'all think I'm lying. Her name was Miss Jennings. I don't know these folks. They had a difference of opinion about that, so we'll see how the judge rules on that. The second one was about the cell phone, man. Like, we need to know the feds, y'all. Let me see. Let me look at my notes. The records, the investigation the FBI conducted to locate Bryan, where he was at and when he was there. They used that to get the search warrant. We need that. Y'all had it since December. We at the end of June now. We still ain't got it. Y'all had it since December. We're at the end of June now. We still ain't got it. Now, let me slow down right here and play devil's advocate a little bit. Because some people are going to say, yeah, they fumbling, they messed up, they this, they that. All of that is very possible, man. Mrs. Jennings, she also said, man, and I don't know how much she was embellishing this, because she did embellish how many investigators were on the case, but she said they have 13,000 pages of reports, 13,000 photos, over 10,000 tips, and a whole bunch of terabytes of audio and video. These people are dealing with a lot of information, bro. And this is one case. It goes into my point that I'm always telling you guys. We kind of see them when they have these shields and they work in this arena of law enforcement. We see them as like heroes. And I ain't talking about like a hero who just helped the lady out of the burning car or something. I'm talking about like they can't mess up. At the end of the day, guys, these are people who go to work every day. And a lot of times they're working longer and more strenuous hours than us. You probably work anywhere from 8 to 16 hours on your job on a daily basis, right? I'm speculating here. The average work day from my experience in the workforce, you probably work anywhere from 8 to 16 hours on your job, anywhere from 4 to 6 days a week. And that tire your ass out. At the end of the week, you be tired. When it's time to go back to work on Monday or what your start of the weekday is, you still tired from last week. And you probably fumble a little bit on your job because of that fatigue, amongst other things. Imagine how much they fumble. They're just humans at the end of the day. That doesn't mean they're going in there trying to do a horrible job on purpose. That doesn't mean they're going to do a great job every damn time. It means they're going to do a job like most humans do. Hopefully they have good intentions. I want to say that because a lot of people are going to look at this and say they had it since December and they ain't got it to her. It's some fumbling going on in there, right? They may have lost the information. They may not have find it. Somebody might have supposed to send it. Somebody didn't see an email. It's a lot of human things that go on there, whether they're just intentionally good or intentionally bad or whatever. Don't take out the humanity. That's what I'm telling y'all. Remember, that's what I'm here for. So I don't know why they've had it since December, but Ann Taylor's adamant that they had and they haven't gotten it to her, and she needed it. I'm glad I thought about that because I want to say this before I get out of here, guys. A lot of this isn't prosecutorial misconduct or defense misconduct. A lot of this is just par for the play, man. This is how these things work out, but it does bother me, some of the things that I'm seeing and hearing from the prosecution. But a lot of these things, I've said them in my previous videos. If you believe you have the right person, man or woman, you're going to play the game. You're going to move your chess pieces how they're supposed to be moved, as in, i.e. this death penalty thing. They're going for the death penalty. I put some stuff out there. I need the information from you guys. I'm not one of those people who's going to pretend I know more than I do. Sometimes I make myself look stupid not knowing what I should know about, as far as I'm talking about the case. But I put it out there and I got some information back about this death penalty thing. And one thing that people were consistently saying is, hey, they had a window in which they had to do this. They had to announce that they were going for the death penalty. And some people even said that they can still withdraw it, which all makes sense to me. But the other thing that I know is Ann Taylor kicking their ass right now. She is kicking their ass. Remember me? I'm the guy that said, yo, they need to start speaking up. The defense ain't saying enough right now. Well, I was the one that needed to sit my ass down because clearly this woman either knows what the hell she's doing or she's a great ass actor. Because now Ann Taylor is just minimally speaking up and she kicking their ass. And so I'm telling you, I truly believe, I've said this before as well, that the prosecution, they have a lot of these little manipulative nuggets that they're going to pull out of their arsenal. I don't have a problem with that. They believe they have the right man. You're supposed to do everything you can to defend in your perspective, your case. You don't want this murderous person on the street, whether it be a woman or a man. You've indicted them. You got to convict them now. That's your job. You're going to do everything you can within the bounds of the law to do that. I don't have a problem with that. That's why a lot of this information is being held up. I'm telling you, they do it in case after case. This young man was killed. He was drunk. He was high. His friend sent him home from the bar in the Uber. This was in Florida, Destin, I think. You can go look it up. Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. I think it was in Tampa Bay. You can go look it up. He got drunk at a bar. His friend sent him home so he can go home safe, sleep it off. He was high on cocaine too. They found all of this in his system. He went to the house. He called his roommate, didn't say anything. His roommate answered the phone. He hung up on his roommate. Next thing you know, he walked up to a car that another young man was sitting there with his girlfriend. He either got in the car, tried to get in the car. Reports vary. And then the young man thought that he was being carjacked, so he shot him. And he killed him. And then he jumped out and he called 911. And while he's on the phone with 911, he's trying to give the guy CPR. The young man eventually died. The other young man was not charged with anything. It was stand your ground. The parents obviously upset and frustrated about it. I will tell you this. It was a black and white situation. The white guy is the one who died. So they're upset about it. And they're demanding that this young man who shot their son in the self-defense, the law said it was self-defense. I mean, damn it, you jumped in my car. I probably, listen, homie, that's an ugly situation right there. Rest in peace to you. That's why drugs, alcohol, be careful, be responsible. But the parents were demanding that this other young man's name be released, but under the stand your ground laws, his name was protected. Ironically, his name somehow got leaked. It was sent to someone in an email that air quotes wasn't supposed to be sent, and it got back to the parents and their attorney. Who really believe? Rewind that part of the clip. It's going to be like 3 seconds. So if you hit back on YouTube, it should be like 10 seconds. It'll get you there. Who really believes that that was accidental? These things are accidental. Just like these people withholding information until the last minute, until the last possible legal minute, it's not accidental, guys. They're doing things to win their case. My problem with the prosecution is I'm looking at some of this stuff, and Taylor is asking for information that if you believe you have the right guy, some of this information you should have no problem giving up. It's only going to protect your case. That's why you have the information, because you believe it protects and enhances your case. So why you don't want to give it to her? We're going to talk about the university because I had a title for this video, but I'm already at 18 minutes and I got to cut it off, man. We're going to talk about the university, man. There's a lot going on with you guys, man. But Ann's the second point was, hey, they used this cell phone data to say that Bryan was here at this location at this time. We need that. We need those investigative processes. We need to know, just like the 3 officers, what are your qualifications and the qualifications of your investigative process for us to believe that this is credible information? Why you want to hide that from us? You good, right? You trust the officers, you trust the information, you trust the data, right? Why you want to hide it? The only thing that I could give you to say it makes sense is you still want to stall the case so she can't fight back, which once again, if you believe you have the right person, why would you? You want to assure us that this is the right person, right? Why are you hiding information? Her third point, let me get to it, man. Y'all don't be liking these long videos, and to tell you the truth, I don't be comfortable with them neither. The car, the make, year, and description, the year change in the car. I've heard about that, guys. I haven't delved much into it, but I'm going to tell you what I think about that. She said, yo, we have the communication between the officers about this incident. We just don't have the report or something like that, right? The reason I'm not worried about that right there is because the way, and to go back and look at how she said that. Her third point was, yo, we need this information about this car data and how it was changed, the year was changed, you know what I mean, from one to the other. Credibility matters, guys. I'm going to keep saying police, all of the members of the law enforcement community, they're just men and women at work. That doesn't make them infallible because they tried out to be a law enforcement personnel for their career and they got hired. That doesn't make them infallible. It just makes them another human being working in a particular sector. Meaning their credibility needs to be established, especially when they're contributing information that could send a man to a firing squad.
To a what? What the hell is a fire wing? What? Never mind, big dog. Go ahead.
So she want to know. I'm going to tell you something about this lady, man. When she said this, go back and watch it yourself. She said, I know how the year was changed. We got the communication, you know what I mean, on that right there. She didn't sound worried at all. She sounded like it was either a non-factor or she already on top of it, man. Don't take my word for it. Remember, I'm Mr. Logical here. I'm looking at the logical humanitarian aspect of it. I'm watching her while she's talking. Might be how I close this video out. I might go ahead and throw in the Idaho 4 joint. The university part. But the whole time this woman is saying this about she needs this information about how the car and the year was changed on it, she's not worried at all. She's like, okay, I know it happened. We need to know all of her points of this right here, bro. She got 2 points. One, we want to establish credibility for this information that was used to arrest and indict my client. Very fair. Why would you withhold that if you think you got the right man? 2, give us this information in time enough to prepare defense for it. Don't try to wait till the last minute, which, once again, if you have the right man, that kind of bothers me that you're waiting to the right last minute. But I'm also not naive. I know that that's something that both sides do. We're not going to pretend that's just a prosecutorial tool. The defense does it in cases too. They wait till the last minute to turn over evidence so they don't have a time to prepare defense for it. That's just how it goes. So the prosecution doesn't have a time to prepare their defense for it. It's just how it goes, guys. Some of us on Bryan's side, I said us. I'm not on Bryan's side. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Here you go. Bombshell revelation here. I'm really starting to lean into this man was framed. I might be right back with another video about the university because I'm really starting to lean into the fact that this man was framed. But I'm not there yet. I still don't know if he was guilty. I'm more so, if I had to make a decision, leaning into the fact that he might have been involved but not alone. And very possibly not even like the lead guy. I'm thinking if Bryan was involved, I'm leaning toward he was just a patsy. They set that man up, they used him. When I say set him up, I'm not saying frame, which it kind of is the same thing. But frame, some people are saying frame, shout out my homegirl. Some people are saying frame in a sense that he's not involved at all. I'm not there. If anything, I'm thinking that maybe he was involved, but he was set up to be the fall guy, like he was just there himself. And he wasn't. You know what I mean? But Ann Taylor, man, let me finish with this right here, bro. Listen to this lady talk, because you will get a dose of me, and while I get, she's much more mature and wise than me, I think, from these snapshots I'm getting of her. I don't know this woman in her day-to-day life. She could be hell on a day-to-day basis. But the way she presents herself in court, man, it's so immaculate, man, and eloquent. I love it. I love it as a defense attorney. Because you need to get people on your side. The lady is something a lot of people are missing. She's very articulate. She's very factual. She's very inviting. Her personality, the way she stands, the way she talks, the way she articulates her words, the way she does her in court, the way she attorneys, it's it's not off-putting. Like if you hear Mrs. Jennings at the end, the judge was asking her something, and he was asking her like, yo, when is she going to get that information that you guys say, is coming from the FBI? And she's she's using her feminine wiles to kind of, what I mean? She's, well, I can't really tell you, maybe a couple of weeks. I'm not going to get into that. Y'all going to get offended, sensitive asses. But that's what she's doing. And, well, you know, there are several hundred investigators on this case. And Taylor, there was no manipulation. There was no anything in it. She said, listen, bro, I'm not up here trying to make the prosecution look bad. She kept emphasizing that. I'm not trying to make them look bad. I don't believe they're holding anything back. She probably don't even believe that, but she's walking a very thin line of eggshells here because she can't even breathe. Her client can't even breathe without people saying that's how we know he's guilty. So she's letting you know, I'm not here for any type of confrontation. It's just some things that we need, Judge, and I think it would be better for our portion in this case to defend our client so we're not accused of ineffective assistance of counsel. I think it would be better if you just set some hard deadlines for us, man. The woman is intelligent. The woman has her stuff together. Watching this hearing, because this is the most I ever heard her talk, watching this hearing gave me confidence that this woman knows what the hell she's doing. And when she drops these bombshells that she has, and then the prosecution comes back with these manipulative little tidbits that they've been saving to try to come back, you know, because for them, it's all about swaying the public. For Ann Taylor, I get the impression that it's all about, for her, it's real justice, and she's trying to defend her client. I don't think this woman believes Bryan is guilty. I could be wrong. I don't know these people, guys. I'm looking at it logically. I've been wrong a lot of my life. But for the prosecution, it's clearly about manipulation tactics and other things. I don't think they have a damn case. We coming back with that university video, guys. I'm going to have to get us another title because we coming back with that university video, Lord willing. But Ann Taylor, she's on her job, man. She's on her job, and I think a lot of people could stand to learn from her. I was going to put this quote in one of my private pages today. One thing that aggravates me about people are when they don't have the ability to communicate their thoughts, but they get mad at you for not knowing what they're thinking. That aggravates me, man. Because I think as adults, we're supposed to, you know what I mean, get to the point where you can communicate your thoughts, or at least don't get mad at people for not being able to read your mind. None of that is going on with this lady, man. She's calming all accusations that she's there for confrontation or any unnecessary aggressiveness. She's not. She's there for a client. She believes he's innocent, and she needs the information that she's requesting, that she's legally entitled to prove her case. I don't think she's wrong. I have some questions about how the prosecution is going forward. A lot of the moves that they're making make me think they don't even have a case, guys. It's ridiculous, man. This video is 26 minutes long, man. We coming back, Lord willing, with the Idaho 4 video. Might add a clip or two, you know, at the end or beginning. You know, just to, you know what I mean, give it some spice, throw some salt and pepper on it, man. But other than that, man, y'all be safe. Love people for real. Stop being so damn disrespectful and aggressive for nothing, man. Like, even if you disagree with people, man, just do it in a respectful way. Act like you want your kids to act. Because a lot of times I see adults, we acting like we teach our kids not to act, man. What's up with that? Innocent until. I couldn't leave without saying this, man. You seen how they had it on the side of the screen? It's called picture-in-picture, the information about Bryan. Why is it every time the media is reporting on this case, like if they say, okay, well, the DNA factually points to Bryan. It's not the prosecution is saying the DNA factually points to Bryan, but then when it's information to help Bryan, it's like, well, the defense team is saying. Like, well, you know, they saying this, but they don't mean it's true. This case is being tried in the court of public opinion, and like, you know, Judge John said, man.
I'm also going to add retained expert witnesses for each side because we don't want to have a trial in the media or in the public. We want it to be in the courtroom.